Do you remember a time when what coach said was simply good enough? When I look back on my athletic career, I really never remember a time questioning what my coach said. I just simply did what he said. We refer to that as blind obedience. Well, now we're living in a generation, the information age, where anyone can Google, we can look online, we can find any information we want. So now what we've discovered is that coach said is usually followed with, but why? I hear from coaches all over the country that say these exact words to me. Well, the kid just doesn't trust me. Coaches, quit taking it personal. It's not just you the athletes don't trust. They don't trust anybody. They're coming from homes that are broken, where dad has left and mom hasn't been there, and systems that have failed them. So the blind obedience no longer exists. The trust that was once built into young people is no longer there. So now what we have the opportunity is to be a bridge to build that trust back so that these young people can go on and be change agents in society. Maybe as we build this bridge of trust, what we need to do is, instead of getting mad, we simply need to give them a reason. Hey, if they ask why we're doing this in practice, then be confident. Speak with confidence that this is the reason we're doing it. They see that confidence, they do that task, and they see the result of it. Trust is built. So don't be so uneasy when kids question what you're doing. Let them know why. And if you don't know why, maybe it's a great time to take a look inside of you and really figure out why you're doing the things you're doing. And it's a chance to grow, and it's a chance for your team to see you grow. One of the greatest things we can do is to allow our athletes to see the human side of who we are. When they understand that we're human and we begin to pour back into them, then what happens is, again, trust begins to grow. And over the course of time, the questions become less, the motivation becomes more, and we see change take place in the heart and the life of our athletes. For many of you out there that are coaches, you understand that culture is broken. Most of our students, this is what we're dealing with. They're coming from broken homes. There's not an identity, there's not a belief system, there's struggle there. There's just brokenness that's taken place, and then they come to us and we're supposed to somehow miraculously fix it all so that we can have this great output from them. But it doesn't work that easy. You can't fix something if you don't know what the problem is. A doctor cannot give a prescription unless he understands what the symptoms are. And for us, we have to begin to look into what are the symptoms, what's going on in this kid's life, and then what is the prescription they need. A lot of times what they need is they need an arm around them, they need a hug, they need words of affirmation. They need to know that you care. Think about it like this. I can remember riding in my dad's truck as a kid, and the radio had these two knobs. One was for the volume and one was to tune the radio into the station. And what would happen is this: you would tune the knob and you would go right past the station, and as you passed it, you would hear it clearly. But then there would be static. And then you would go back just a little. And after all that effort, you would find the station, and now everything was able to be heard. That's what we're doing in the life of an athlete. We're constantly tuning the dial. If the dial is off, it doesn't matter how loud you're saying it, the static is too great for the person to hear. We have to be very careful. We move to the right, we move to the left, and then we come back to that place where both people are listening, and then we begin to see great things happen in the life of people. Continue to move the dial, because the greatest part of being a coach is when you land on the station, both people are listening, both people are hearing, and the music begins to play. Coaching is a beautiful thing when that occurs.